Want to make a quick review of pretty much what happened today, the trades that I took, the reason behind them, and what I did see. And I want to save this also as a playbook for the first day of June of this year, the first trading day, technically. What's what I wanted to say, and the trade that worked out, what I saw, and how I reacted to the current conditions, and what I saw right here. So pretty much before the open, the market looked like this. It was a little flat to me. We had bounced from 58.74 overnight, where the dip pretty much got bought immediately, right? This has been a recurring theme. This has been a key level for pretty much the past couple of weeks. I didn't need to go to a higher time frame. Where pretty much, as I'm showing, each time 58.74 has acted as either support or resistance, right? And it's pretty much immediate. This day, this was by the end of May, where it acted as resistance below it, and then pretty much ever since above it, ever since we reclaimed this level on the 27th, the dips at the level have been really, really fast. They have been pretty much short lived. Like, we barely spend time at this level right here. Today the market was a little flat overnight, and it was finding support at this 58 74, which was the key level. We also had this demand zone at 58.71. And I had two levels. I had 58.74, but my plans, I meant to say I had two plans. So if we dipped right here and found buying, I was comfortable taking the market along, right? Um, if selling volume entered the market and we found selling below this level, so pretty much different reaction, bringing a different result, I was comfortable shorting the market into 58.32, right? So it was a breakdown type of setup, or a how you want to call a failed, let's say, failed break below this type of setup, or responsive buying, however you want to call it. Now, it's something I did notice, kind of, and it's not the most perfect balance range, but if you draw a line right here, right? Let's put this line right here, this higher portion, right? And let's use this as the lower portion. So something like this, right? Where each time we're below it, we bounce, right? We bounce right here, bounce right here, bounce right here, and then bounce today. And then above it, each time we sold off, kind of like if we broke above it, we then sold off. So it was pretty much responsive buying at the lows, or a breakdown type of setup, right? This was pretty much what I was speculating on. Now, the market, I did see this as a really bullish sign. If we did, as we did overnight, we broke below it as we were trading higher, and you're going to see the open. Since we were already trading about 58.74 and finding buying overnight right here. When the market opened, I want to delete this right here. So when the market opened, I was pretty much, I thought this was really, really bullish, especially from bouncing from here and the action at the beginning. So the first couple of minutes, what we're gonna see on the tape is how the market rallied. We're also gonna review right away my mistakes, what I did right, what I did wrong, and then just pretty much the action right here. So, but for that, we gotta first review the tape right here. So the market opens up. We're of course definitely above 58.74, and we're gonna see how the market starts moving higher. Right? We have some large out offer trades that are gonna appear in 1 second. Large size over there, 300 lots hitting the offer. Um, let's speed this up right here, and the market comes to this high again. Some offers do reload. So it's 59.05, right? So the offers were low. We have some also strong auto offer trades right here, 400 lots. And then we have the offers over there, and then we break the high once again. I think the same minute, right? Yes. But you can see there's definitely buying out the highs, right? This is not for me to take a trading decision off of yet, but it's simply that we have buying out the highs. You can see right here, it's kind of like forming a little bit of a P shape over there, but Nothing yet. Then the market does break this high from here. I think the next minute, if it's not the next minute, it's gonna be, yeah, this next minute right here. So let's pause this right here. We broke the high, a little bit of rally, kind of the consolidation, and then a rally, and we have a zero print at 5906.50. You can see right here, 37 at the offer, 0 at the bid, right? So we have a zero print. I like trading around zero prints and also low volume nodes, and this is something I want to trade around because now I have a level of interest. And since we opened above 58.74, I'm like, there's probably nothing stopping the market from reaching 59.34, which is supply higher, right? So then the market starts gravitating higher. First observation from this trade, there is large buying because you definitely 100 lots is large, 100 lots right here. But what we're gonna review is that it's not kind of, I don't know if I'm biased because my long did not work out right here at the highs, but I don't think the tape or the type of action that I was seeing was the best one for indication of continuation right here. And I want to see, I want to show why whenever we make the high pretty much at 939, at least in the short term, right? So then the market starts moving higher. I'm not seeing the enticing type of action to the upside that I would want to see as we break the highs or as we move higher. Look at that. Here is where selling starts to pour in. And I'm going to leave the tip right here. I'm going to describe it impromptu. Because so far, ever since we broke this high and we left that low volume node, it's not that we're having a very sporadic move to the upside where I was very confident in this, right? Over there, so we keep breaking the highs. I want to see the market keep breaking the highs with strong buying and then speculate on 59.06 acting as support, right? But then let's leave this right here. So at 939 we make the high. Let's speed up this up a little bit more, right? So then we have more out offer trades over there, 200 lots. Look at that. Look up this buying. I think this is a good example right here because look at the amount of buying that we're having. But it's not that this amount of buying is falling thereafter, at least in the very short term. Look at this. This happened in the next 10 seconds, not a lot of buying. Not a lot of buying over there. You want to see this immediately funding buying, signifying that buyers are actually putting strength above these 58.74s and not failing from here. I'm not saying we were going to fail at this exact minute, but so far it's like, so, something's up right here. Maybe something's brewing to the short side, right? And I was open for any scenario, long or short. I was looking just to trade. I was just looking to trade around the zero print, right? Look at that over there. So now this for me was brewing to the downside. I did not take a short trade, but this is for me to review impromptu that maybe the long was not ready yet. Maybe it was not ready yet, right? But as we do right here, this quick dip gets bought. We have more buying, right? Even some offers over there. We're loading, so that could be a little the second type of context. And we break the high at 938. So at 938, 939, 940, we're gonna have a little more context for this. And if you look at the footprint, the heat map right here, ever since this strong buying right here, do we really have large out offer trades? Honestly, like for a continuation. Maybe some right here, but they're at the highs and not showing intention. If you look at the rally that followed right here, the bubbles are really small, like 50 lots, 36 lots, 34 lots. You really have to zoom in for them to really be at large. And I don't think this was really great confirmation for a pullback to get bought, especially after this. And if I'm zooming in right now, we don't really have large out offer trades. Like I'm talking about large, except this right here at the right below the zero print, we don't have really large out offer trades. The ones that we do are actually, funny enough, at the highs. Look, and then the market tends to gravitate lower over there. So let's keep reviewing this right here. Okay, right here. So then the next couple minutes, we're gonna have a little pullback. 937, 938, we break the highs. And 40s when things could have become a little more clear to the downside, right? So look at this right now. All right, we broke the high. That's good. You want to see this continuing thereafter and not really kind of struggling right here. As I'm saying, I'm reviewing this impromptu. Look, some offers over there. After this kind of like quick small push to the upside. It's 938, 939. We're going to break the high once again. And 940 was when we start to sell off, right? But I think right before that, it's when we have some type of context of possibly not only that the buying strong, but the selling could be strong right here. This is not okay. So this is a little different, 400 lots. All right, great. We need to continue higher from this move, right? From this action right here. Speed this up right here, and still the zero print has not gotten filled, right? At the 37s. Sorry, the 5906, 37 lots, right? So then at 938, 939, we break the high once again. Make a high at the 17s. I think the high was in so far. I think so. I don't know if we break the high one more time. Okay, so we break the high over there. Little bit of a tail. I don't know if the offers, these were low right here, but all right. So now is when the context is kind of flipping over there. Okay, look at that. First couple of signs, and they're gonna be way more clear in the next couple minutes. Look at the tape speeding up. It's kind of like the tape immediately flipped. Like at one point, and it's not even the strongest buying. I want to be very clear on that. It's not that at one point the buying was really strong, or we might actually rally from here. We were moving higher, but now that I look at it, the buying was not really strong. And now the selling. So just pay attention to the selling right here, because the selling, especially in this candle and this minute and 946, is large and is much more aggressive than the buying. Right? Then the buying from the open, right? So we're gonna speed this up because now this video would take forever. Just look at the mon size and the size that is coming in over there. 176 lots, 112 lots over there. We make a lower high on 943, 945. Look at that, 500 lots over there. And we make a lower high right here. I don't know if some offers do get filled over there. I'm not really sure. But the context for me possibly flipped a little bit. Now, I did enter long on 947, so we're going to review, especially as we dip over there. Because again, the bid has not, the zero print has not gotten filled. We still have a low volume node. It can still bounce, right? It can still bounce. We never know. We're above 58.74. I'm speculating the 59.34 is on reaching, right? So on the 46s, this is what we're going to see. We start moving lower, but just look at the selling. Look at the tape speeding up to the downside. This right here does look kind of weak. Now, I will be clear on something. We have the low volume node, right? And I would want to see an aggressive dip immediately, just immediately getting bought, right? That was not the case. Like at 946, we have that aggressive dip over there. It's 947. This is where I enter long in this minute. And just, you want to see this immediately reclaiming. Not only that, we don't immediately reclaim, we start moving lower. Like we start moving lower below the low volume node at the 07s right here. And we have more selling. Look at that. This definitely does look weak to the downside. Look at the amount of selling that is coming in. So far, I'm not longing yet, but now looking back at it, this looks weak. I mean, 300 lots, 500 lots over there, and the tape, not only the size, but the speed on how we dip right here. And again, I want to be very clear, like on the low volume notes, I want to see volume, but I want to see volume just dipping over there until 6 and immediately reclaiming. I don't want to see this spending time right here. But I did not pay attention to that, and I got long. I got long at the 06s. So whenever the market moves a little bit higher right here is when I got long. So not in yet. You see, we're taking a long time. Some bits over there. Okay. Now reloading, there are some bids. You could get long on that. Some volume coming in, and then this volume right here, I enter long, right? So I got long at the specifically at 59.06.25. So I got long as we were moving higher. Stop loss below the low volume node at the O2s. So below right here, that was my stop loss, right? The market then doesn't really move from here. And look at that. We immediately attempt to move lower. Each quick little dip ever since we made the high has gotten sold into. Dip over there, sold into, getting sold into, right here getting sold into, and I'm already long. Does it really make sense to be long yet? Either two things. The low volume node could hold. Again, I never know what the market will do after an entry, but a couple things. Why don't I avoid the longs instead of entering right away on the first signs of buying when the selling is really strong? I mean, look at that. Just look at not only the speed but the size of it. I already mentioned that over there. But anyway, I'm already long right here, 948, 949. We attempt to move higher over there. What you need to see and what you want to see are low volume nodes immediately rejecting, because how low volume node forms is that the market moved so fast from it that it did not have a fair time for everybody to transact. And if we come right here and reject, price should move relatively fast from that area. And that's something we did not do over there. This was not the case. This should have been a red flag for me to exit early. But anyway, I'm in this trade right here. My stop loss is not triggered. I don't think there's still context for this long. Maybe if we start having aggressive offer trades, probably at the 07s, whenever we break this small high, probably that could have been one due to the weakness in the market. But we don't have aggressive odd offer trades or large size from here. And then at 949, we start moving lower once again. We fell from here. Probably would have entered over there, could have been, But still, the market is really weak. I would have wanted to see probably two things. Either the dip gets bought immediately and we start moving higher with aggressive odd offer trades, right? Or another thing, we consolidate right here. Let's say we have absorption, just something over there indicating that we might actually reverse from this low volume node. But the low volume node was met with more selling, and the market did sell off from here. And I stopped out not in this minute, but at 950. So right here, whenever we consolidated, more selling poured in over there, and I stopped out this minute right here at the O2. So whenever the O2 is triggered, I stopped out, right? That was the first trade right here. Just simply longing a dip over there at the low volume node. Not a good trade. I don't think it was terrible because I had a reason to. I had a low volume node, 0 print that got filled. I don't think the context was the very best one, solely because of the aggressive selling, which made this trade have I think lower probabilities of working out. Just simply knowing that the weakness was really strong. And from this weakness is where my second trade came into, because at 10 we're gonna have news. We're gonna come into the lower portion, and the 74s are gonna act as support really, really well, right? So let's speed this up until when the news get released and we reach the 74s. So far nothing yet. Some consolidation right here, really interesting. And then at 10 the news get released. All right, so when the news get released and we came into the 74s, I saw a couple things that were really interesting. And I'm gonna really have to slow things down for me to show it properly. So the 74s is the key level over there. Some bits over there, but this is not the bit that I'm talking about. The icing on the cake for me was just the speed of the aggressive out offer trades right at the 74s, because it immediately got bought over there. But here's the thing. What I did like seeing was, I think at the 70s, whenever we reach the 70s, not this bit right here, over there. That large bit over there, 100 lots, look, got filled over there. Got filled because an aggressive order hit that passive bid right here. And I think one more over there, this one right here, also does get filled. My entry came at 10:02 whenever I saw really, really aggressive buying from here. Again, this are the 74s. I am seeing some signs of buying. First by this aggressive bid getting filled over there, and then this one does get filled once again. I don't think it's this one, I'm not really sure. over there. Yeah, it gets filled over there. Gets filled over there, and the icing on the cake for me was just the speed of how we moved away from this. Let's go to 1002. So far, right here, I'm seeing a couple of things. I'm seeing a bit over there getting filled, one, twice, and then the aggressive buying. This is exactly what we needed at the highs. Sorry, not at the highs. At the open. This is exactly what we needed. Something that we're gonna see how the market moved from here. And this is the type of action or the speed or the size of the tape, the aggressive out offer trades that I wanted to see. Something like this. So right here, we're gonna see this aggressive out offer trades, something like that, large, and you can see it. It's just, this is different. This looks different. This is really aggressive buying over there. That's what I wanted to see. Whenever I saw this, I entered long. I did not hesitate. I will say my entry was a little late. I needed to enter just right here. 1002, whenever I saw this aggressive buying, I needed to enter. And I will admit my entry was a little bit late, but it worked out. I don't know if, I was chasing a little bit. I will admit that. My stop loss was at the 74s. So if we did back to the 74s, I would have just exited right here. It was a little scalp, 6 points, targeting the 96s. So whenever I saw this aggressive buying, I enter at the 80s. Again, I know my entry was not the best one, but the confirmation was there. Just a bit over there getting filled the second time, and then the aggressive out offer trades, right? Right at the 74s, where each time we came into it, we bounced, right? So from here, and there's a mistake that I made on my end from this trade, what we're going to review, and I'm going to also say it impromptu, right? But so far, the 74s are acting as really strong support, and what I loved about this setup was just simply each quick little dip was getting bought with new buying, right? So as we dipped over there, immediate buying over there, look, just like that. Got met with buying, but between 10:08 and let's call it 10:18, so 10 minutes of action that I did see, that made me just a little cautious on this right here. And I didn't mention that, but the reason for my exit at the 97th was this low volume node right here, because this low volume node got met with new buying. So if this low volume node got met with new buying, my next target was this low volume node right here. So I'm in this trade long and at the 80s, stop loss at the 74s, and then what I liked about it again was that each quick little dip just got made with really large odd offer trades, right? Tend to dip over there, and the quick little dips get bought. And speed this up right here, and impromptu, I'm gonna show what I didn't like about how the market was moving, right? Look at that, really strong buying over there. But in the next couple of minutes, we're gonna see that these short-term highs right here, as we were breaking above them, they were not getting met with a lot of continuation. Over there, strong buying. You want to see this continue over there. You want to see that continuing. 10:08, right? But what happens next? I actually start failing. Something I didn't like. By this point, I was 12 points up in this. So if we came into my entry, I was gonna exit right there. So I'm already. It's a risk-free trade for me. I didn't like was as we were breaking the short-term highs, where we're getting met with some selling, right? Now I'm in this trade. I have confidence in these buyers, and especially the size that they're showing, that we might really reach the 96s, but I didn't like this just quick pop right here with selling, right? But I was still in this trade. It's 10:12. Going to break the highs again over there. New selling coming in. So I was very cautious in this position. I was playing really defensive in this position because of the strong drop, and because what I want to see from the entry, as we're breaking the highs, I want to see continuing move over there. I know the trades are not gonna work out in my favor immediately. You gotta let them breathe a little bit. But I was seeing this as a red flag. I was playing this offensive over there. I did not have the best entry, and I was playing really defensive. So as I was saying, we're breaking the small highs. You can see over there, buying over there. Why is it not getting met with new buying? Oh, it's already 10:18. Okay, so 10:18 so far we're broken the highs couple times right here, and they're not high of the day. They're just the short-term highs right here, as you can see, breaking over there and failing, breaking over there and failing, breaking right here and attempting to fail. My exit was at the 96.97s, which was kind of like this short-term high right here, right? Now I did leave an order at the 97s, which we're gonna just put over there. So at the 97s, I left an offer to get filled, right, in this position. And at 10.19, we're gonna break this small high right here, and we're gonna fail to reach the 97s by 2 ticks. So over there, strong buying, right? You wanna see continuation. You wanna see continuation. I have the offer ready to get filled over there. By 2 ticks, we missed it. Just 2 ticks over there. It's already the low volume node. It is technically the target. And the reason for my exit was not that, but it was this right here. This offer right here. This large offer getting filled. Right over there. Well, this was the only one that got filled actually. But it was this offer right here getting filled. So I exited at the 93.75 was my exit right here. So pretty much as we moved lower, I sold my position. I didn't like this strong push getting met with all the selling, just pretty much the recurring theme ever since that trade. It was really inorganic, seeing it right here. You can see by the chart how we broke the high and failed, broke this high and failed, broke this high right here, we did not continue higher, we failed, broke this right here, we attempted to fail, but we actually the 97s did reach. So technically, I'm not gonna say I got scared. I was playing defensive. I didn't like this push right here. And the offers made me just click the sell button, honestly. And then the market did attempt to sell over there. We didn't really sell. We just pulled back, and the pullback is something I want to learn, because there's the other side of the coin is like, look at each quick little dip was getting bought. And also this was a risk-free trade for me. We're pretty much 16 points above from my entry. Had we dipped into the 80s, I would have just exited for break even. Like, this was a risk-free trade. But then the 97s, the 96s do get reached, and then we just reach over there. But technically my target reached, because it was the 96 and 97s. I just never got a filled, and I exited over there. I got out of the position. So I technically sold on my target. It was just I got 3 points less just because we didn't reach the 97s, and I didn't get filled. My offer didn't get, the market didn't hit my offer at the 97s right here. I had it at the 97s, it never reached. So, but then the 97s did reach over there. It was game on from there. So, thing that I learned from this setup, things that I did right in reacting to this immediately, because we never actually got a pullback. Like, I would have waited for a pullback into at least the 74s or the 75s, and we never got that, right? We barely pulled back, and the market then rallied. I entered over there knowing it could have fucked me really bad, because my entry was not the best one, as I'm saying. But then I just entered over there. Had we pulled back, I would have just stopped out. Not the best entry, definitely not the best exit, but favorable risk to reward. Something I did right, I reacted to this. I waited for my target to trigger, and I sold on my target. I thought less thinking was better for me. Saw the bid over there and then entered. Things that I did wrong, definitely chasing a little bit over there. You could say I was chasing a little bit. Should have entered right here closer, at least at the 74s, the 75s, having stop loss at the lows, and then letting just this trade develop. And also that was something that I did wrong. Technically, not letting this develop and waiting for the 97s to trigger, but in hindsight, we could have also failed from here, which was a low volume node. No, at least in this trade, the first trade, definitely what I did right was waiting for my area of interest to trigger, have a really favorable risk to reward, exiting when it didn't work out, and things that I did wrong. I'd say first things that I did right, and things that I did wrong was definitely not recognizing the weakness right here, and recognizing that we didn't have much strength, but definitely I think it's more of not recognizing enough the weakness that we had right here in the aggressive on bid trades, and how we sold off and should have waited for more context, or at least the 74 to trigger and would have had just one winning trade. But took a losing trade 4 points, took a winning trade 13 points. So in general, green on the session. But in general, just it's adapting to this that the move was fast, like it was immediately or never, and I accepted the risk and I got paid for it, and it was great. It could have definitely been the other way and just sold off from here and stopped me out and then probably rallied. That could have been the case, but that was not the case. I reacted fast to that and exited right here in a strong push.